My nose runs when I deep throat, and my nipples also get hard.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
Hey guys, welcome to my 115 facts about me video. Today I'm going to be going quickly, hopefully, through a bunch of facts that I've compiled about myself that I either have never told you guys or that very, very few people will know. So, if you guys want to play along with me, you can play the game of counting how many of these you actually knew about me. I think that would be pretty interesting to see how many people might have known more than like 50 of these. I'm actually pretty sure I've written down some things that nobody knows. But rest assured, this isn't going to be one of those boring videos where I tell you how tall I am, how old I am, or that I like dick, which is something that everybody fucking knows about me if they've watched at least one of my videos. So, without further ado, let's get the fuck into this. I had a pretty sizable mole on my lip removed. I was a complete tomboy until I went to modeling school when I was 12 years old. I even often dressed like a boy and wore my boyfriend's clothes. My natural boobs were barely B cups. I'm really good at basketball free throws. Relatively, I'm really bad at math. I raised caterpillars and stick bugs as a kid. I'm really into reading about sociology, psychology, philosophy, serial killers, and what happens to our brains when we dream. I'm pretty decent at Photoshop and graphic design. I do all of my own overlays, thumbnails, and even edited some of my modeling pictures. I had a side company called Babcock Can Edit when I was a model, where I would edit other people's pictures. For a fee. I actually really love rain, I just don't like driving in it. And I'm really gonna miss rain when I move to Vegas. My favorite childhood memories include me climbing things, exploring, playing sports, and playing video games with my parents. My shit, like my actual shit, is really, really aesthetic. I hate common popular phrases like bae and woke, and I only say them ironically. I have never been to jail. I don't like high heels or purses. I've never had a GPA less than 3.5. I've never gotten less than an A in a writing, reading, or comprehension class. I was reading at a college level in 4th grade. When I was learning how to ride my bike, my dad didn't teach me how to stop, and I ran into a fence. Asshole. And years later, I broke my 2 front teeth riding my bike with my friend Chris. I now have crowns. My least favorite game genre is FPS, and anything first person absolutely sucks. In my opinion. Local anesthesia doesn't work well on me. I had 2 pet cats, a turtle, a hamster, and countless betta fish when I was younger. I would love a pet tarantula, chicken, or iguana. I've drank pee, it's not that bad. I graduated high school with a 3.7 GPA while being in college simultaneously. I'm a vegetarian. I'm bisexual. I lost my virginity at 12. Yes, with someone my age, and yes, it was my idea. My childhood SNES was spray painted black and had a sticker of a caterpillar on it. I still prefer the games from my childhood more than the modern ones, but damn, those graphics. I've had sex with 10 men and messed around with countless women. My favorite music genre is heavy metal, but my favorite band will always be Pink Floyd. I'm left-handed, but because of video games and other things, I'm almost ambidextrous. My natural hair color is dirty blonde. I have no gag reflex. Actually, I can just control my gag reflex. In my opinion, the Mexican dialect of Spanish is the ugliest accent and language out there. Spain Spanish and some Spanish from South America is fine though. I started modeling full-time quickly after I turned 18. My first video game ever was Pitfall on the Atari, I'm pretty sure. My favorite video game ever is Super Mario Bros. 3 on the All-Stars cartridge. The one for the SNES, not the original on the NES. I cannot stand the feeling of wearing baggy clothes. I love all animals and insects. I never kill insects that get in my house like spiders, fruit flies, etc. I've been as small as 105 pounds and as big as 165 pounds. My favorite food is bread and my favorite meal is grilled cheese and tomato soup. I love Monty Python, Fawlty Towers, and John Cleese in general. When I was younger, I was so shocked to find out that we willingly killed animals for food, but we were so against killing humans for any reason. I always thought the meat that we ate came from roadkill or animals that died naturally. Things like that inspired my misanthropy and my low opinion of society's moral codes. I don't vote, and I don't think it matters. I love big events and conventions and love meeting my fans. I love hugging and physical contact. My favorite modern, non-indie game franchise is God of War. Captain America is my favorite superhero, but I was never big into comic books until my adulthood. I was a cheerleader for 2 years. My natural response to pain is laughing, which is probably pretty creepy. I also have a high pain tolerance. I scored in the higher than 90 percentile in reading comprehension and writing on the WASL, which is the Washington Assessment of Student Learning, a test that we had to pass in order to graduate high school. But I passed math and science by only a few points. Common turnoffs like the armpit smell, sweaty balls, and scars are actually a turn on to me. I've been live streaming on Twitch for 5 years now, way before it was cool to be a hot girl streaming on that platform. One of the first. I hate the top knot and skinny jeans look on guys, but I love big, full, luscious beards and lumberjacks. If you're buff and you have a beard, you're hot and not a hipster to me. Shao Kahn is by far my favorite video game character of all time. I identify with some of the traits that make people a psychopath, a sociopath, and have narcissistic personality disorder. But we all do, right? I am so interested in getting a psych eval and an IQ test. I think most people are sheeple. My favorite color of all time is hot pink, but when I was younger, it was red. I almost exclusively wear clothing from Hollister and Abercrombie. The only exceptions usually being gaming clothes or hashtag Tara Babcock merch. I have a short temper for people that I consider to be stupid. I don't like human babies and I have no maternal instinct. I can't remember the last time I was embarrassed. My parents never got married, but they never split up either. I've always had a very good relationship with my parents. My highest ranking in the StarCraft 1v1 ladder was Platinum. 69 is actually one of my least favorite sex activities and positions. Also, that was fact 69. But sucking dick is my favorite. I was afraid of my cat Climber when I was a teen. He would hide and then jump out of nowhere and attack me. He died recently. R.I.P. Climber. I would do anything for Jay. Jay is the only person I can spend all of my time with and not get bored of or annoyed at. Jay is also the proud owner of my favorite penis. I have never been to the Space Needle despite living in Seattle my entire life. I despise traveling, but I've been to over 15 states in the US. I've never traveled outside of the US with one exception to Vancouver, Canada for a Magic the Gathering tournament. I find the German language and their stereotypical demeanor to be very sexy. I find it very sexy when a man is strong enough to dominate me. I've always wondered what it would be like to kill someone. I've had cherry red, natural red, blue, and cotton candy pink hair. I've also had dark blonde hair and brown underneath my blonde hair. I have a second Instagram that I run for my parents' 2 rescue cats. @Snowy and Panda. I don't feel safe in cars, especially on the freeway. I always thought it was really weird how people can do that every single day, then complain about how scary things are like plastic surgery when you're way more likely to die in a car crash. I have a relatively large vocabulary and I've always been kind of cocky about it. I'm a misanthrope, a realist, a skeptic, and a cynic. I was a quarterfinalist in the Star City Games Regional Championship last summer. That's a Magic tournament. My favorite Magic deck of all time was Mono Blue Devotion, and my favorite card is the Judge's Familiar. I co-owned a WoW raiding guild with Jay for a few years. If I get to pick a class in a game, I'm always one with a familiar or a pet. I feel closer to my subscribers than most of my real-life friends. My favorite anime of all time is Dragon Ball Z, and I own all the box sets for it, GT, and Dragon Ball, but no, I haven't started watching Super yet. I'm loud in bed. I can't stand talking on the phone and prefer texting and emailing strongly. I would participate in a gangbang with all original 9 members of Slipknot as long as they're in costume. When I have extra money, I save it or I do more giveaways for you guys. I love it when guys wear long sleeve shirts but roll it up so they show their forearms. I love forearms, especially when they're big, muscular, and veiny. I'm a size queen. I'm profoundly turned on by masks. I love ketchup enough to drink it, but I can't stand tomatoes. Fucked up teeth and poor hygiene are 2 of my biggest turnoffs, especially when they're combined, and oh my god, that yellow gunk that accumulates near the gums, ugh. I make cardio easier by fantasizing while listening to metal music. I pretend I'm a Viking princess warrior or something akin to Baby Doll from Sucker Punch. I'm a complete grammar Nazi, but you should see my notes on my phone for videos. I absolutely hate writing notes and scripts, so I just bang my face on the keyboard, basically. I disagree with almost all forms of segregation, affirmative action, or anything that's meant to fix discrimination. I don't know how many times I've turned down female-only esports teams and events. When I asked my mom where babies come from, she said storks bring them to you. When I asked her how I could not get one, she said pray. I prayed profusely for months. I like vascular muscles and dicks, but I used to dislike the former before I got into bodybuilding. As a fan. I would take a bullet for Jay, but I believe that no good deed is unselfish. I would rather die than live without him. My nose runs when I deep throat, and my nipples also get hard. I have a fetish, if you can't tell, for full lips on men and women. I have a lot of weird fetishes. I hate the laughing and crying emoji. It always reminds me of people who don't know which yor to use and are easily offended. My first car ever was an Aquamarine Saturn SL2, which I named Car. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on her, and I plan on spending more. Pussy juice activates my sweet tooth. Yeah, that thing that makes your teeth sensitive with cold, heat, or sweet. Weird. I'm an atheist, nihilist, hedonist, vegetarian, libertarian, pro-choice, anti-SJW, anti-feminist, bisexual, yet none of those dumb labels encompass or explain who I am. Labels don't define me as an individual, and I'm of the opinion that they should define no one. I make less than $1,000 each month on YouTube, and less than $100 on the gaming channel. Thank you, Patreon patrons and people who watch my Twitch channel. I fucking love you guys so fucking much. You guys mean so much to me. I really appreciate your viewership and everything you do for me, and I really feel like we're a family. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did it kind of weird and matter-of-factly, but I thought it would be fun that way, and easier to edit. Like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed, and post your tally in the comments of how many of these you knew about me. I genuinely adore the shit out of you, and hope you found this video interesting. Are there any of these that you identify with as well? See you in the next video. Mwah! And as always, 2 videos over there to watch, and links and everything else in the description.